thought we were a little fragmented, whether we got down and our interior defense wasn't great. They scored a couple times at the rim. You look at the points in the paint, we were stagnant at times. We just gave the ball to Mike and stood around a little bit, and when they loaded up against him, we just seemed like we were trying to do things. We weren't as cohesive as the past, and I think that's going to be important. I mean, we've got to go through Mike a lot. We've got to we got to get other guys involved. Sammy wasn't as involved, and that doesn't always mean getting shots, but I just thought it was more of, was Mike and we watched him, or was this guy's turn, or defensively it was, all right, if you can't handle the guy in the ball, well, I got to worry about this guy. We didn't have the strength of our team. When I'm talking about playing, and we still had chances in that game, but just for us, again, against the Florida or those other teams, it's got to be more, as we said, a unified approach to the team defense, and even, offensively, still getting touches, shots for guys like Mike, but there has to be a real commitment to playing together at a high level. I think that'll be our key.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you think the postseason stage contributed to that, or what do you think, I guess, led to that at this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean, again, it wasn't a major lead. That's just, I'm talking about little areas that, we're trying to squeeze to get us a few possessions here or there. We were slow on our post trap. We were, I don't know if it was, we had played a little bit. NC State was so ready, and they had played the day before. We just were a little off, but the few letdowns we had, early, we had to work to get back into it, and then I thought we were stronger as the game possessed. But if you want to advance, it's got to be more of a complete game.
Been a tough year for Sammy. Was there a point where you guys were just kind of banging your heads, wondering what to do, and what kind of advice do you give him when you see a shooting slump stretch on for multiple games like that?
The one thing I said about Sammy, had it not been the case, it would have been different. But I thought he had a good year in terms of certainly defensively. Even though he wasn't as involved in the NC State game, he guarded Woods. He did a great job on Scott Woods, and I thought he had a pretty solid floor game this year. He did have a struggle at times with his shot, though he came big for the Maryland game, and it helps when he shoots the ball, but I think he was effective and improved in all those other areas. But if you probably look at those slumps or shooting percentages, and there was tremendous value. He's a big reason why on the perimeter, obviously we talk about John Tell and his ability to guard the ball and get after it, but Sammy did a really good job on the defensive side of things with his off-ball defense and guarding guys, and taking care of the ball and doing things. So I was pleased with that, and have seen improvement in this year. And we talked a lot about his shooting. When he's knocking down shots, when Joe's hitting them, it makes us so much more effective. That's bringing in again that, whether it's that third scorer or second scorer or whatever. So we could probably talk forever about why the shot goes in sometimes and it doesn't. But his other part of his game was strong. That's what I challenged with him. Don't let the rest of your game dip. And I believe he did a real good job of keeping everything else intact while he was battling through, shooting slumps.
Coach, when a team has 5 players that scores in double figures a game and averages over 75 a game, I guess, what does it say to you about the team and about this Florida team specifically, about what they do offensively?
Yeah, they're talented. They have excellent spacing. I was trying to think of teams we've played in the past that shoot that many threes, that can space the floor, and my mind runs to Michigan or even Oregon. Duke can space the floor. I think Florida, their spacing is great, a lot of ball screens, but they have tremendous quickness on the perimeter. They have playmakers who can put it on the floor and get to the lane and then fan it out and shoot the three, and then they're playing a 4-man, or at times they'll play him as a 5. That's a big threat from 3 to Murphy. I was going to say Alex Murphy, but Eric Murphy. Alex is his brother who's at Duke. That's sitting out. But so it's a team that they're going to score. They'll use their athleticism and transition. But their spacing is the thing that you notice, and very aggressive. You've got to, again, make them shoot contested shots, keep them out of the lane, but get there. I mean, we really got to work on how quick our closeouts are, and they have weapons. It's not just 1 or 2 guys. The fact that 5 of them are in double figures is impressive, and obviously they've been there before. But we're looking forward to this opportunity, and again, those are the teams that I looked at, we played, that have at least a similar, in some ways, the scheme and the three-point shooting.
I'm sure you're aware that 7 of your losses have come by either 2 or 3 points. How do you interpret that? Is it you need to get better in end game situations, or do you just play so many close games that you're gonna lose some and win some?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think we've been in a lot of close games, and you always have to try to continue to get better and execute in end game situations. I think we had 9 this year. Well, this was before. I think we had won 5 and lost 4 in conference play. So I guess we're 5-5 now with the NC State game. You're always working to execute, and a lot of it comes down to, I think, in late games when we've had success. I noticed we've made some plays because defenses tighten up. And you have to be good with your sets and all that, but offensively it comes down to a lot of making some big shots, making some plays. And then for us, defensively is where, against NC State, I go back to the most recent one, they got a couple of buckets where they got us inside. You know, we weren't quite there. And again, and Leslie either made a quick baseline spin and we couldn't get a trap on them or couldn't make them earn it. So little breakdowns are the things we say, as the game goes on, as the shot clock winds down, we need to become more sound on the defensive end and not have a breakdown. So to answer your question, I do think it's both. I think we're going to play in a lot of close games because of you know, the talent level in the conference and the parity, and we're always working on improving the efficiency. But that's where at times we try to, you know, go through Mike more and establish some things there, and but keep looking for opportunities for guys to make some plays. I think that will be important, and if we're going to advance, I would imagine we'll be in some close games.